Foreign aid to Pakistan. Pakistan receives foreign aid from several countries and international organizations. Since the start of the war in Afghanistan, the majority of the aid comes from the United States via the Coalition Support Fund, which is reimbursement to Pakistan for counter-terrorism operations. Foreign aid from America has been stopped since 2018. Education aid. Pakistan received $649 million in aid for education in 2015, the highest it had received so far. The aid had increased from $586 million in 2014 to $649 million in 2015. The paper also reports that Pakistan received the most aid out of all the countries in Southern Asia, with India just behind, receiving $589 million in 2015. The biggest part of the aid to Pakistan was given for basic education. Out of the total $649 million, $371 million, or 57.16%, was given for basic education. Election support. One of the biggest organizations supporting the electoral process in Pakistan is the Election Support Group ESG. ESG is an internationally supported group of interested parties, made 32 specific recommendations to the Election Commission based on the recommendations of 16 international organizations. A meeting was held in October 2009 to present these ideas to the Commission. The Commission commissioned ESG to provide them with the recommendations on how to best solve the addressed problems. Saudi Arabia. In 2013, Saudi Arabian government donated $5 billion to Pakistan to increase its foreign reserves and meet its needs of balance of trade deficit. United States. Former U.S. Ambassador to Pakistan and W. Patterson addressed senior bureaucrats at the National Management College and emphasized that the United States will assist Pakistan's new democratic government in the areas of development, stability, and security. The United States Agency for International Development (USAID) in Pakistan officially announced the signing of an agreement valued at $8.04 million to help ease Pakistan's food crisis. It is also hoped by the United States that Pakistan, under the administration of Nawaz Sharif, would only strengthen relations between Pakistan and the United States. Since the start of the war in Afghanistan, the majority of the aid comes from the United States. The majority of U.S. assistance to Pakistan is from the Coalition Support Fund, which is reimbursement to Pakistan for expenses already incurred and compensation for facilities made available to the coalition forces. Election support. In 2006, the International Foundation for Electoral Systems (IFS) implemented a $9 million contract through USAID to install a computerized electoral roll system for the Pakistani government. USAID IFS, United Nations Development Program UNT. Part of this activity was the establishment of a federal election academy and a library to support the Election Commission of Pakistan. Financial aid to Pakistan since the 11 September 2001 attacks. Between 2002 and 2011, U.S. Congress approved $18 billion in military and economic aid from the United States. However, the Pakistan Treasury only received $8.647 billion in direct financial payments. Western officials have claimed nearly 70%, roughly $3.04 billion of military aid has been misspent in 2002-2007 and used to cover civilian deficit. However, Pakistan argues the civilian deficit was caused by poor economy from the war on terror. However, U.S.-Pakistani relationship has been a transactional based, and U.S. military aid to Pakistan and aid conditions has been shrouded in secrecy for several years until recently. Furthermore, a significant proportion of U.S. economic aid for Pakistan has ended up back in the U.S. as funds are channeled through large U.S. contractors. Pakistan also states it has spent $80 billion on the war on terror since 2001. Cuts in aid. The Kerry-Lugar bill passed in 2009 after democratic elections in Pakistan had proposed $1.05 billion in annual assistance to Pakistan. However, due to problems and differences in the bilateral relationship over issues such as drone strikes, India, and the Raymond Davis incident, the full amount was not transferred. Pakistan was promised $1.05 billion annually till 2014, but in the very first year the target was not met. Only $179.05 million out of $1.51 billion in U.S. civilian aid to Pakistan was actually disbursed in fiscal year 2010. Expenditures. Of the $179.05 million received by Pakistan in 2010, $75 million of the U.S. aid funds were transferred to bolster the Benazir Income Support Program, a social development program run by the Pakistani government. Another $45 million was given to the Higher Education Commission to support centers of excellence at Pakistani universities. $19.05 million went to support Pakistan's Fulbright Scholarship Program. $23.03 million went to flood relief. Role of corruption in foreign aid implementation. Pakistan has faced a significant problem in corruption, and it has been detrimental to the country's economic, political, and foreign aid standing. This corruption and a lack of transparency has been viewed as a key obstacle to the effective implementation of U.S. foreign aid in Pakistan. U.S. officials are concerned that a large proportion of the financial aid to Pakistan is being used to pay consulting fees and administration overhead. This was added to by the harassment of workers in the region and a need to pay officials bribes as a means to progress on projects in the region. The United States officials, as a result of corruption, believe that channeling the aid through Pakistani agencies may lead to a more effective implementation of the foreign aid. Officials further supported this idea as they believe that Pakistani civilian bureaucracies did not have the capacity to be effective aid implementing partners. In addition to internal corruption, reports from Pakistan also suggest that large amounts of foreign aid were being used to fund its war against India and maintain a position of power against their rivals India. As a result, reportedly nearly half of the aid given to Pakistan is being rendered unused due to corruption, and the United States believes that altering its method of channeling the aid is the way to improve the implementation. Security concerns, public perception of U.S. aid. As a result of security concerns and inability of American aid workers, the areas needing the aid have residents that have anti-American sentiment, and hence the delivery of any aid containing the American flag or label has led to several extremist attacks and reactions. In 2012, aid organizations, including the International Committee of the Red Cross, were forced to shut down operations in fodder regions of Pakistan after finding a British national employee had been beheaded as a result of negative perception. The idea that the residents in these areas don't like America anymore poses great security risks for aid delivery for the United States and form a roadblock to the effective implementation of the aid in Pakistan. The need to outsource delivery to Pakistan leads to a lack of control and difficulty in monitoring and evaluating the implementation of the aid, and has been a leading cause of the ineffective implementation of U.S. aid. Perception of U.S. aid in Pakistan. Most Pakistani people were not happy about the U.S. aiding the Pakistani government because view in the streets was that the aid never reached ordinary Pakistanis, who not only suffered the consequences of war on its borders but also never benefited from the aid the U.S. gave due to vast corruption in the government. Military and economic aid. Total aid since independence. In total, the United States obligated nearly $78.03 billion to Pakistan between 1948 and 2016, adjusted to 2016 value of dollar. United Kingdom. United Kingdom pledged £665 million to Pakistan from 2009-2013. Between 2014 to 2019, Pakistan was the largest recipient of direct UK foreign development aid. It received approximately £320 million in aid in 2019/20 as part of Department for International Development's program. Pakistani proposals for foreign assistance. Free trade deals. Pakistan has been trying to negotiate free trade deals with the EU and America as part of Western assistance in war against terror instead of aid. This policy is supported by the Washington-based think tank Center for Global Development. Debt cancellation. Pakistan has been trying to negotiate debt cancellation. Currently, Pakistan spends $6 billion on debt servicing annually.